something just oozing from the bottom of Death Warmed Up as well? I'm not too sure. The stealth bomber awaits. The lifting prongs of Death Warmed Up absolutely useless at the moment. The pneumatic trident, powered by a soda siphon bottle. There, you can see the flames and the smoke. And they know the stealth team are heading for a victory here.
Cease.
Oh, filling up, I feel all choky. It's smoky. They're going out.
Give it up for stealth. They go through.
Welcome back to the pits.
We've got a souvenir.
You've got a souvenir?
We sneaked up on him when he wasn't looking. Dead stealthy like.
That's a bit... You were stealthy.
Yeah.
You were very stealthy,
Well,
and
it's
that's how
stealthy,
you
we
won.
thought it wasn't
That was
gonna work.
very cleverly done,
Very
getting
slow.
that robot over the toaster like that.
There you go.
But I have to say, call that a flipper?
I know.
It was rubbish.
It was,
There
yeah.
was no flipping going on. We were going flipping then. But congratulations.
Thank you.
It was very well done. Very stealthy.
Heading for fame and wealth? Stealth? Who knows? But they're through with Hypno-disc, Berserk 2 and Ally Gaitor, and this is how they came out of the hat for the second round draw. Berserk 2 against Ally Gaitor, Hypno-disc against Stealth, and a long trek towards the final. I'm going walkabout now. I'll let Craig explain.
Now, you may have noticed that most of our robots have been legless. Not because they've been driving all over the shop, but because they've got wheels. Well, now it's time to feature those robots who prefer to show off their pins. Wheels aren't the only way a robot gets about. This is the first of our series of robot walker battles.
From High Wycombe, Miss Struts and the English family, a 4-horsepower petrol engine provides the power for those stilt-like legs, protected by an aluminium frame with polycarbonate panels. And from Hertfordshire, Stomp, a starter motor from a scrapyard and a windscreen wiper motor from a truck used here inside the aluminium box shell. It's the lighter but quicker machine.
Robot ears, stand by.
Miss Struts, then, with the longer legs. And they're the team in English, Kerry Inglis and William. And Stomp, Carl Nielsen, John Lilly and Tim Mitchell.
One. Activate.
And so we begin with Miss Struts. An electrifying start. Walking very much, actually, as I do on a Sunday morning. Well, teetering, really. Tottering. Stomp. Stomp. Not walking at all. Spinning, though. And actually, this is its major weapon. Flail powered by a petrol strimmer. It can spin on the spot. And, oh, that's the aim of that, to slam into the side of Miss Struts. Giving Miss Struts the same sort of headache, actually, I have on a Sunday morning. The Inglis family trying to get Miss Struts to progress a little bit quicker. Well, oh, these boots are made for stomping on Stomp. Stomp isn't going anywhere, actually. I wonder if it's been immobilised. Engine's certainly working in Miss Struts. I don't know whether we want to see inside Miss Struts, really, do we? Stomping. Ooh, listen to that! What on earth was that noise? The scream of Stomp. Miss Struts still trying to make progress there. She reminds me of an old geography teacher I had. She didn't move very quickly either. Would collar you at the back of the classroom. Oh. Stomp just getting ripped apart by dead metal. Not going anywhere. Go on, get Miss Struts moving, English team. In she comes again. Nice boots, anyway. Purple, fashionable, and yellow. And off goes Stomp. Action as Killalot plucks it up into the air, spins it around. Now, you see Miss Struts is on the attack somewhere in the background. Oh, look at that damage now to Stomp. That's the most decisive thing we've seen. Miss Struts is at speed. Look, look, look. They're out of it, Stomp. And they nearly got into second gear.
Look, chain came off.
it stinks.
That's why it never took a step.
It did kind of.
Kind of, but didn't do a proper one. Look.
Only had half the power.
Oh,
You know,
It's span all
built
right,
to
yeah?
very
You
fine
see what I mean
design
about
specifications, this kind of machine.
yeah.
You have... Oh, you can stop laughing over
Is
there.
it true that it's an airline? You know those things that they keep hot meals in? It is. It is. Our cameraman was right. You should have laid a bet on that, Jeremy.
This robot has been around the world in a former life. Several times. Several times. And if you touch certain plants, you smell Vindaloo curry. Vindaloo curry, this one. Yeah, various other things, strange things like that.
It's a fab.
It's had 2 lives. It may not have another one. What do you think?
Have you enjoyed it? Is what
It's been a laugh, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, because we really enjoyed having you. That was very exciting.
Yes.
It was like, quick, walk on the spot some more. Quick, walk on the spot some more. It was just such an exciting battle. It is nerve-wracking, controlling all those legs. Most people just have wheels to control, and you had all of those legs. Those boots were made for walking, and that's just what they did. They carried on walking, and they didn't stop.
That's true.
But now your robot is in quarantine.
It's in quarantine because it's a bit
Why?
hot. It gets hot because of the engine.
Maybe you should have ventilated boots.
They are ventilated.
Are they?
Yeah, how do you think they're quickly warm? There's a huge great square hole in the bottom of them.
You did good. Very well done. And I love the tyres. I hadn't commented on the tyres before, but they're fantastic. You're a top team. Well done.
You know what they say? Nice legs, shame about the pace. And on that note, it's back to the wars.
Craig, this is how they line up once again. Hypno-disc against Stealth, but first up, Berserk 2 against the Ally Gaitor team with Phillipa in the pits right now.
Any last-minute things I should know?
We're going to win.
You're
We're
gonna
going to win. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
go.
it.
Go,
That's all I can tell you.
how do I say good luck? Oh. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
There's the Berserk 2 team. One wonders how much they learned from the last wars, and Ally Gaitor, of course. Steve Everton sounded confident, didn't he? There with the beard, though, at the controls is Derek Stupples, the captain.
Stand by. 3,
There is Berserk 2 and Ally Gaitor.
activate.
Little mascot on top of Ally Gaitor still in place. Driving in. Now, you remember, Ally Gaitor had Corporal Punishment impaled on those top spikes and couldn't get away. But now, in comes the big forklift of Berserk 2. As the hammer on the other side, there's the forklift slamming down on Ally Gaitor. Great metallic teeth in front and green eyes, and Ally Gaitor almost flipped up and over. Very powerful Ally Gaitor, though. Oh, dear, oh dear. The electronic relays, the controls of Ally Gaitor nearly letting it down and going into the pit. Still running though. Nudging in under Berserk 2, in towards the CPZ and shunt, and that's always a worthy tactic. Knock it into the corner patrol zone of a house robot and see the great axe of shunt, but it just grazed the top of Berserk 2 and the alloy body shell. I'd like to see the front weapon of Berserk 2 come into play. There's the rear forklift, and up and over goes Ally Gaitor. Well, I've never seen an Ally Gaitor turn itself up and over. I've never actually seen an Ally Gaitor, you understand, but can it right itself? No SREMEX, self-righting mechanisms have become crucial factors in this series of Robot Wars, and Derek Stupples and his team there, I think, are in trouble. Stuart Ford, the tall member of the Berserk 2 family, in control, and also ramming in along with Shunt Punishment on the belly of Ally Gaitor. Well, I know all about a crocodile smile. I'm not too sure what an alligator has. Pain etched across its feet, and ooh, in comes Dead Metal with the circular saw for some alligator rustling out there. And Derek Stupples and his team know they're heading out. It's back to the bayou and sinking into the swamp for Alligator.
Well, it's a case of see you later, Alligator. There's no doubt about that. Berserk 2 through to the third round.
I was wondering what roast alligator tasted like.
Very nice.
More squashed than... Oh, look. This is like...
Look.
No!
Appendicitis, eh?
Oh, poor alligator. And he got really squashed as well, didn't he? It was great fun. But watching your faces was a picture you just gave up by the end, didn't you? Let them have their way. Thanks very much, guys. It's good to have you on Robot Wars.
Right, thank you very much.
This bit was great. This bit was great. And then they stood on him.
I thought he was going to tip himself over at one point.
Oh, no. And you're close to the pits at one point. But you feel good? Yeah? Thumbs up. Very good, thank you. Well done.
It's Alligator Soup by now. Berserk 2 are into the heat final. Next up, Hypno-disc against Stealth.